Rachel Zegler is at it again.
I truly do believe that. There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy.
I have learned the hard way that we have to be fearless and loud in order to be heard and to prepare for the backlash that occasionally comes with that outspokenness.
The reality is she's just not able to let people give people help. They're just not able.
I think people will just do anything to not acknowledge that respect is earned and not just given to you in life.
What she fails at more than anything is she doesn't have the ability to phrase or frame anything in a way that wins you fame.
She didn't know someone was recording her. She didn't know it would get out to everyone, and she definitely didn't think the whole internet would hear it. But now they have.
It's lonely. I'm very lonely. I know that if that loneliness exists, so can other things, and I will be okay.
A new big shocking thing just happened in the Rachel Zegler Evita story. This time, it's not a written note, it's not a blurry video, it's not guesses from people who work backstage or scribbled notes from the director. This time, it's her actual voice. Someone secretly recorded an audio clip during one of the last practice sessions of the Evita show. Now it's spreading through private theater groups, fan websites, and influencer messages like crazy. Within hours of quietly appearing online, it exploded everywhere.
I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities when I say that this has been the biggest adjustment of my life. Understanding the way my life operates now, being who I am, and the things that I've been so fortunate to make. It comes with so much ground that I never thought I would be able to cover, and that people think I'm doing poorly, and other people think I'm doing gracefully, and I don't think I'm doing it at all.
What's in the recording? What does she say? And why is this one clip suddenly changing how everyone feels about the whole drama? Because if the video of her supposed meltdown caused trouble, this audio is causing a war. According to lots of people who know what's happening behind the scenes, the audio catches what sounds like Rachel Zegler having an angry outburst backstage during a practice break. You can reportedly hear her raising her voice, criticizing people who work on the show, and saying things that, if they're true, are already making fans pick sides. It's short, it's hard to hear clearly, but it's really bad for her.
I just saw this video that was like, Rachel Zegler doesn't have a single movie role lined up after she's alive. Rachel Zegler is making her West End debut in the biggest leading role in a musical of all time. Like, she's playing Ava Perón in a Jamie Lloyd production of Evita. I promise y'all don't need to be worrying about her career like that.
And here's what makes it even more crazy. This leak came just days after Rachel's lawyers sent legal letters demanding that all backstage videos from the Evita show be taken down. This includes the viral clip that supposedly shows her throwing a prop. So now fans are asking, did they try to shut down that clip because of what comes next? Because of this new audio?
In the film industry, when you are an actor, when you sign one of these contracts in the entertainment industry, I think a lot of people on the outside think that if you are somebody who has a lot of publicity around you and your name's attached to a project, that means you have a ton of control or a ton of intel, but usually that is not the case. Unless you are Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively with all of his films, apparently, or Margot Robbie in Barbie, and you are also an executive producer. As an actor, you don't get to dictate anything. You don't get to dictate if the film actually happens. You don't get to dictate when it is shot, how it is shot, if you can ever speak about it to the public. You are simply just there to show up and say your lines and look the way they want you to look. That is our job, and that was my job on this production. So again, that's really all I can do.
Because this isn't just another internet rumor. It's a real voice. It's real emotion. It's raw and unfiltered. And depending on who you ask, it's either the proof the show producers were waiting for or the trap Rachel's teen was most scared of. So how bad is it? What exactly can you hear? And why is this 34-second audio clip making people more angry than anything that's leaked so far? Let's go back to the beginning, because this moment, this one recording, might just be the loudest part of a scandal that's already super loud.
Rachel Zegler has been described as a walking PR disaster for Disney. We've heard her bag the classic story before, but there's more.
It didn't show up on a major news website. It didn't come from a verified account. It wasn't even uploaded with someone's name on it. It started like most internet fires do, in the shadows. It began as a mysterious voice message in a private West End WhatsApp group. Just a 34-second audio file called Stage On MP3. No tags, no explanation, no watermark. But what happened next was immediate.
I'm the first to say I don't know the ins and outs of the payment for these actors. To be honest, there is not a single show, a movie, or anything that I've seen really in the last 5 years that made me think these people need to be paid more. I'm sorry, but I can tell you that I wouldn't have felt that way had they not come forward and complained about it. And that's it.
Just really, why are you even worried about yourself getting paid when I thought this was about standing up for the little guy, standing for the actors who don't get the A-list castings and aren't having their faces put on billboards,
Right.
so deserve to be paid appropriately, and instead it's like about you in the dress. Just not a good look.
Within an hour, that same clip started showing up on private Twitter circles, inside Reddit threads labeled NSFW Theater Leaks, and buried deep in a Discord server run by musical theater superfans. Then TikTok got it. The clip wasn't even clear. You could barely hear what was happening in the background. There was no video, just the tiny echo of a young woman's voice cracking a little as she shouted something during practice. But the moment people heard what she supposedly said, they knew exactly who it was. Rachel Zegler, or someone who sounded just like her. And the line, the one that made it go viral, that's where things get messy.
The whole crying thing, it only seems genuine when Holly does it, but with Rachel it seems like she's acting. Not long ago, this is what she was saying. See, this is the reason people don't buy it. Don't get me wrong, she has a fan base, she has a following, she has people defending her, as she should have. But the way this damage control tour is becoming a bunch of statements that she should have made at the start, it all just makes her look worse.
Some people claim she says, "This is a joke, none of you get it." Others say it was, "This role was mine from day one, stop questioning me." A few swear she shouted directly at the director. The point is, the exact words are unclear, but the emotion that came through was crystal clear. She was angry, frustrated, maybe even embarrassed. Her tone wasn't just sharp, it was cracking, like someone who'd been holding it in and then finally broke.
I think the world needs a lot more of that these days, so that would be rule number one. And also, dogs are better than people. That would be something else. I think that works.
And just like that, fans had something new to pick apart. Not just facial expressions from a paused video frame or leaked paragraphs from an email. They had a voice, an attitude, a meltdown with sound. By the time the clip hit 50,000 plays, edited versions were already going around. TikTok creators added subtitles. Some slowed it down. Others compared it to past Rachel Zegler interviews, pointing out how the tone didn't match the sweet, calm image she showed in press interviews. And that's when the real chaos started.
The only excuse I can make for her is that she's young, she's immature, she doesn't know any better. I've never heard of her before. I don't know if this is her first project or if she's done movies like this before or anything that has anything to do with acting before. But girl, this wasn't it. Like, why'd you go and dog your own movie? Dog Disney, dog the writer, she dogged everything. Now she's mad because they done fired her from upcoming projects, but you're not a team player. Why would somebody want to hire you when you don't know how to play your part? Like, you didn't know how to play your part in the movie and in the real world.
Because this wasn't just Rachel Zegler having a bad day. This was Rachel Zegler caught in the act or pushed into it. And suddenly, the entire story was changing again. Because this audio didn't just confirm what people suspected. It gave them something new to believe in or something new to be scared of. And what happens next would split fans right down the middle. By the time the audio reached mainstream YouTube commentary channels, the clip had already broken into different interpretations. Everyone heard something slightly different, but one thing was clear across all versions. Rachel Zegler wasn't acting. She was furious. People who claimed to be there during that particular Evita rehearsal say the moment caught on tape wasn't a scripted line or part of a performance. It was raw, unrehearsed emotion. A moment when Rachel supposedly broke character mid-scene, turned off her microphone toward the wings, and let loose. The most common version people heard. "You people don't get it. This role was mine from the start, and you're treating me like I'm disposable." Other parts supposedly caught in the clip. "I'm not a puppet, okay? I'm not here to play nice for you. He's rewriting everything last minute, and I'm the one who looks insane. Don't talk to me like I'm some random girl from Twitter. I'm the lead." Even if the audio was hard to hear, the tone was unmistakable. There was bitterness, there was stress, but there was also something else: entitlement. That last quote in particular became a lightning rod. Within hours, the phrase "I'm the lead" was trending on X, formerly Twitter. People started putting it into parody videos, fan edits, and even musical remixes. It was being made fun of, but also analyzed, dissected, and turned into a weapon. And suddenly, the backlash wasn't just about one outburst, it was about how people saw her. To critics, this was confirmation of everything they'd suspected, that Rachel was fighting with the cast, that she saw herself as untouchable, that the chaos behind Evita wasn't exaggerated, it was spiraling. To defenders, though, the tone said something different. They argued it was frustration, not arrogance. The sound of a young actress cracking under pressure. An artist tired of being blamed for a production falling apart around her. One TikTok comment with over 25,000 likes read, "She sounds pushed, not spoiled." And that's what made this leap more polarizing than anything before it. The director notes painted her as difficult. The rehearsal footage showed her supposedly throwing a prop. But this was her voice. Not someone else's summary, not someone else's angle. Just her. And it forced people to ask the real question. Was this the smoking gun the producers had been waiting for? Or was it proof that Rachel Zegler was being baited, pushed into snapping so someone could hit record? Because if this audio was leaked by someone inside the theater, that wasn't an accident. It was a plan, and the bigger question wasn't what she said, but why the world is only hearing it now. And that's what makes what came next even more chilling. If the audio shook the internet, it shattered the cast. Within hours of the leak gaining traction, multiple anonymous posts began surfacing on Reddit threads and private theater forums, supposedly from crew members who were there that day. One claimed, "I knew someone was recording. You could feel it, like something was about to blow." Another posted, "She was cracking for days, but hearing it out of context, that's not the Rachel I worked with." Others weren't so generous. One Backstage dresser reportedly said via DM to a West End gossip account, "No one was surprised. The tension had been building all week. She made everyone walk on eggshells." And then there was the supporting cast. One supposed chorus member wrote anonymously when the clip dropped, "Some of us listened 5 times. Some defended her. Some just said, finally." The division was instant, and it didn't stop at the cast. According to one leak, a rehearsal report filed after the incident, one that came before the viral footage, contained similar phrasing to what was caught on the audio, meaning the producers may have known this clip existed long before it was leaked, which raises an unsettling theory. If the production had access to this audio already, did they hold on to it until it was useful? Or did someone outside the official chain decide to take matters into their own hands? Adding to the confusion, a former assistant choreographer who had since left the project posted on Instagram and later deleted, "No comment, but some people are only difficult when no one listens." That post alone was shared over 40,000 times before vanishing. The theater world, long known for keeping internal drama off the record, was suddenly caught in the crossfire of fan-driven detective analysis. Every cast interaction, every absence from the curtain call, every blurry backstage selfie was now being reinterpreted through the lens of the audio. And that created a ripple effect even the producers didn't expect, because now it wasn't just about Rachel's voice on the tape, it was about everyone who stayed silent when they heard it the first time. And the next 24 hours would only make the pressure worse, because suddenly the person being judged wasn't just Rachel, it was anyone who had heard that tantrum live and let it slide. As the audio clip gained momentum and public opinion swung wildly, one question echoed louder than the rest. Where was Rachel Zegler's team? Because in the wake of legal threats, takedown demands, and a storm of speculation, silence wasn't an option anymore. According to reports from insider entertainment bloggers, Rachel's publicist was contacted for comment within hours of the audio surfacing. No official statement was released, but the damage control machine supposedly went into overdrive behind the scenes. One known entertainment attorney who previously worked with West End talent claimed on Twitter, "I've seen the letters. They're moving fast, DMCA strikes, legal warnings, even private outreach to fan creators to stop spreading it." That tactic? It backfired. Instead of suppressing the leak, it made it bigger. Some creators began blurring the audio, masking the voice, or adding commentary just to evade takedowns while still keeping the narrative alive. And then came the speculation. People began to theorize that Rehearsal's legal team didn't want to address the content of the clip because doing so would legitimize it. So instead, they went for a scorched earth strategy: erase it, threaten consequences, and hope the timeline moved on. But the internet doesn't forget, and the more they tried to shut it down, the more viral it became. TikTok duets exploded. YouTube reaction videos tripled overnight. Hashtags like #RachelAudio and #Evita began trending across multiple platforms, all while Rachel's official accounts remained silent, which led to a new wave of criticism. If she didn't say it, why not deny it? If it's not her, why are they panicking? This is what guilt looks like. Meanwhile, her defenders were quick to strike back. One popular theater YouTuber known for behind-the-scenes West End coverage said, "We've all cracked in rehearsal, but when you're the one being filmed, the one whose voice gets leaked, suddenly you're the villain." And that's where the narrative started to split again. Because now the debate wasn't just about what Rachel said or how she said it. It was about whether she was being punished for being human or being exposed for being entitled. And in the middle of that storm, Rachel Zegler said nothing. But her silence, it was starting to say everything. And the next move wouldn't come from her. It would come from the people who leaked the clip and what they leaked next.